So now we have our chapter 5, that is industries. As we have read in earlier chapter, we have three economic sectors: primary, secondary and tertiary. So the industries, that is the manufacturing sector, comes in the secondary category. So classification. They are on the basis of raw materials. What kind of a raw material industry uses? Like agricultural raw material, it is agro-based. Chemical minerals, mineral waste. Size, small scale, large scale, cottage industry, and ownership, public sector, private sector, cooperative, etc. Raw materials, it is basically agro-based. First is the agro-based, which uses agricultural finished products, like pickle industry, it will be using certain vegetables. So that is the agro-based industries. Second in this is mineral based, which uses minerals, like we have wiring industry, which uses a large amount of copper. So that is mineral based. Next is marine based, which uses marine, like fishing industry, it will be using marines, it will be using fishes from the marine. Forest based, which uses forest produce, like pulp industry, which uses wood for making pulp. Now the second is size. First is small scale, which have a small amount of volume and small amount of production, like cottage and household. They doesn't use hi-fi technologies. And now next is large scale. It has a large volume and large workforce, large volume, large production, big machines. And next is ownership. First is public sector, which is owned by the state. Next is private sector, which is owned by individuals. Joint sector, which is owned by public and private both have shareholdings in this industry. Factors that affect location of industry. The first factor will be availability of raw material. Is raw material available? Like in Western Uttar Pradesh, we have sugar mills situated in Western Uttar Pradesh. Clusters of sugar mills, because sugarcane, which is a raw material there, is easily accessible. Land. If land will be available, then only we can build the industry on it. So land. Water is an essential component for industry. Labor force, the main thing is cheap labor would be required. Capital for investment, for machines, etc. Transport, is transportation easily available for the finished good. And the last is market. Is there certain market? If there will be market, there will be demand, there will be production. Now the next is industrial regions of world. Major industrial regions are located in temperate areas. Temperate areas near seaports for easy transportation of finished good. And coal field also because coal is used as a raw material, so coal will be easily available, so there will be fuel, there will be no dearth of fuel. In India we have Mumbai, Pune and Bangalore, Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu region. Now Gurgaon and Delhi, Meerut zone is also developing. Iron and steel industry next, like distribution of major industry. We have iron and steel first portion. Iron and steel industry is so important because the finished good, which is steel or iron, can be used as raw material for certain industries, and for plenty of economic activities iron and steel industry is needed. Earlier, like railways, roadways, everything, iron and steel industry, iron is needed. We have iron and steel industry in Jamshedpur. Tisco plant, Tata Iron and Steel Corporation Company Limited, established in 1907, Sanki near the confluence of river Subarnika and Kakrai in Jharkhand. Located near coal fields of Jharia. Iron ore, limestone, dolomite and manganese. And the development of iron and steel industry led to the rapid development of the industry of our country, because it is used as a raw material for plenty of industry. Pittsburgh, that's in US. It is a hub of iron and steel industry in US because raw material is easily available. Coal is easily available, which is a fuel, and raw material, that is iron mines, Minnesota. Transportation is also easily because of the Great Lakes. Transportation is easy. Now next is cotton textile. India was a hub of cotton textile industry. Black soil, which is ideal for growing cotton. But the development of Britain, that is Industrial Revolution, it led to the decline. It led to the pauperization of the cotton. The best cottons are muslins of Dhaka, and calicos of Calicut. Chintzes of Masulipattnam. The first cotton textile mill was established in 1854. Ahmedabad. Next is Ahmedabad. The first mill here was established in 1859. Second largest textile city. It is also known as Manchester of India, because Manchester in England was a hub of cotton clothes production. It is situated near the near the cotton growing areas, that is the black soil area. Easy availability of labor and land. Now we have Osaka, Manchester of Japan. Extensive plains, so land was easily available. Warm, humid climate. Ideal for growing cotton. And river Yodo provides sufficient water. So this is our chapter number 5. Thank you so much. So we have chapter number 6, human resources. Resources are necessary, so human can also be made a resource, that is increasing its utility values by imparting skills, and skills can be imparted through education, training. So the first topic is distribution of population. India is the second populous country of the world, and China is the first populous. 3/4 of the people, means 3/4 of the world's population, lives in Asia and Africa. More than 100 million people. We have factors affecting population. Topography. In plains, the population is more. In hilly areas it is less, and in sandy areas also it is less. So it depends on topography. Then is climate. If there is hot climate, if there is extreme climate, people will not go there. But if the climates are normal, people will reside. Soil. If the soil is favorable for agricultural purposes, for cultivation, so people will reside there more, so population density will be greater. Water. In early civilization also, people were settling near the banks of the river, so if water is easily available, that will result into increase in population. Now next is minerals. For sustenance of life, minerals are essential for sustenance of life of human beings. So if there will be plenty of minerals, there will be more population. Now we have other factors. Social factor, that is good housing, health and education. So that will be densely populated. Housing, education and health. Now we have culture. Places of more cultural value will have more attraction of the population, like we have Jerusalem and Varanasi. Economy: if the area is more economic flushing, more economy if more economic growth, then it will attract people, like because it will have employment opportunities, more employment opportunities, better wage for sustenance of life. Now we have population change. How population changes? By birth rate. First is by birth rate, it increases. By death rate, it decreases. By migration, if a person is migrating from one place to another, it is disturbing the population. The figures of population: if he is an immigrant, he is decreasing. If he is an immigrant, then he is increasing. Emigrant, he is decreasing. Because he is going out, he is coming in. Now we have our next chapter, that is population composition. Less educated countries or the developing countries have large population, and developed countries they have small populations, but they have a less population, and population is divided like this. There is a population pyramid, and it is divided into 10 groups, into various age, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, etc. So we have population pyramid. Population pyramid of developing countries is like this. The death rate and the birth rate are balanced, but the population density of developing countries is like this. The birth rate is more, the death rate is less. The population of Scandinavian country, the working population is more, the death rate is less, and the birth rate is also less. So we have our chapter 8. Thank you so much.